your Sunday so far?
Oh, my Sunday's been good, bright and early. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, man. You know, when you're a founder of something, there's no rest. Always working.
No, of course, of course. They said start a business,
Yeah. Tell us a bit of background
Yeah.
about you. Have you always been fascinated by tech and AI? And, has compliance always been something that you've been exposed to and interested in?
So, just to give a bit of background about myself, I've always been, quite tech savvy. Started with the love for gaming, and I would put together my own gaming PC, buy parts, secondhand and put them together. Even in university, I used to sell gaming parts and build PCs for people. But the compliance portion only came when I decided to venture into consulting. And I was fortunate enough to join a business that did, compliance, but from a strategic lens. So I myself was a management consultant for the last 6 years. Before that, I worked in a bank, actually, as a banker in acquisitions. And funny enough, I studied law. So I know it's quite a checkered past. But I think it gave me all the tools I needed to end up in the position that I am in today.
Okay,
Yeah.
so tell us about Okiru then. What exactly does the app do? I mean, I've given a bit of background in terms of what you guys focus in, but I want to get into the workings of the platform.
Yeah. So Okiru, spelled Okiru, is more than just an app or a consulting firm. We're actually more of an enablement platform that is built modularly such that we can grow as and when the need arises. So the idea there is to save businesses time and improve accuracy when dealing with triple BEE, but other regulatory compliances as well. We also include employment equity, skills development, and with the technology that's been built, there is application to expand further beyond just compliance, also financial audits. So the idea was to turn unstructured data into structured data for faster decision making and more accurate reporting.
So how does it work? Do I pay like a monthly subscription, submit my documents, and I've got someone that works with me, or how I would get Word or Outlook into my system, whether it's my, that's the most basic, and then I know how to use it, and then I use it for a certain period of time, but they bill how they bill. Is that how it works?
So how it actually works is we take a bit of a phased or staged approach. We start with a discovery phase. So there's always a human element to it, and AI is used as almost an engine or enabler to allow this process to happen. So you're never dealing with just a bot or dealing with just the app. You start off with a consultant who actually helps train and teach you around all the elements for your compliance needs. We do, I'd say, a gap analysis or a current state assessment to figure out exactly where you are and where your gaps are. At every stage of the process, you're being taught exactly what you need to do, step by step. And then from that point, you then get access to the platform where instead of filling out, say, templates and, giving documents where you're not quite sure what they're asking for, why they're asking for what they're asking for, you could actually provide all your documents in one go. And so our AI assistants actually catalogs and, should I say, analyzes your data to show you exactly where the gaps are and what you need to do in order to achieve the goal you want. So this isn't something to replace a consultant who would help you with your compliance needs. It's more to make sure that all the data is available, is accurate and audit ready, and then give you the steps on how you actually get to the goal you want to get to.
Yeah.
And the entire time you will still have access to an experienced consultant.
Yeah. So then how does this then revolutionize the work that goes into compliance?
Sorry, can you please repeat that?
The evolution of, I meant to say evolution, I said revolution. The evolution of compliance. You know, I think back in the day, you would have to then get someone who comes into the company and helps you do it. I don't know if it was manually because I'm not in that field, but with AI tools like this, how does this change the future?
So I think this is an important question because before AI, everyone thought we need to find an expert who has done this before, who knows the legislation well enough, who can guide us through. And that usually came with quite a large bill because someone has taken time and years to perfect this. Whereas this is more of an enabler that allows not only those consultants, but people who are responsible for it, so stakeholders within the business, to also then know exactly what they're doing. I think it's always difficult for people to want to bring in consultants because they think this will always be a consistent bill. And so this allows both consultants and internal stakeholders a platform for everyone to somewhat develop their own SOPs, to know what's going on throughout the entire process. Leadership always wants oversight of what's happening. And so what this does is gives everybody clear direction and clear visibility on what is happening. And I think, allowing this to truly take hold within the organization, it doesn't mean that you need to be solely reliant on the software itself, but the knowledge transfer is the true value that they gain when using this platform.
Yeah. And for you, do you have quite a number of competitors looking at the South African landscape with regards to innovation? Or you find that the space that you're in, you are one in a few that are innovating or coming up with innovation in this regard?
Sorry, again, our connection is not the best. Can you please repeat the question?
I'm saying with the space that you're in and the innovation that you've created, do you find that you've got quite a few competitors, or the space is still fairly new in terms of innovation in this space?
I think traditional triple BEE and compliance consulting has its incumbent players, which we differentiate from being a traditional consulting firm in that we brought this tech enablement into the space. Before actually even embarking on this journey, when you do your competitor analysis and take a look at what the entire sphere looks like, there aren't many dominant incumbents in the space in terms of providing technology that is AI enabled yet. So we definitely saw a gap in the market. But I'll be honest, the draw towards doing this was more selfish. So I've spent years doing, BE compliance. And what I found took up a lot of my time and a lot of, I'd say our capacity is cleaning the data, is trying to understand, because you can't provide, the right solution or the best solution without really understanding your client and the data itself. And so to take away the heavy lifting of going through thousands and thousands of lines of training and employee data and procurement data, we thought this should be something that should be enabled or should be almost automated. And I think this is the right time for us to do this as AI gets better and better every single day. So part of the reason why we've built it the way it is that when new technology comes up, it's something we can plug and play, we can change components. And on top of that, we can also apply it to the rest of Africa, right? And actually globally. Once you have the set of rules, our AI tool actually is able to adapt and bring in those rules that are specific to each jurisdiction.
All right. Chengetai Myezwa, founder of Okiru, is on the line with me. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we continue with our chat around how and what Okiru innovation can do to improve your life, especially the life of your business.
Hi there. Do you want to elevate your business and give it a voice in South Africa and Africa as a whole? Well, in that case, let Channel Africa make this a possibility. Channel Africa is willing to advertise your business for as little as 30,000 rands or $1,719.18. To get access to these great rates, send all requests to mukwenata@SABC. That's MOKOENATA@SABC. Channel Africa, the African perspective. Her name is Puleng Molebatsi, and she's on Tech Africa.
All right, we're going to wrap up with Chengetai Myezwa. We're just talking about Okiru just before we took a break, and he's the founder. So, Chengetai, how can people get hold of you if they're looking to bring this innovation on board?
So we are available to you on many different channels. We're on almost every social media platform. I think if you're a business owner or a business leader within corporate or starting your own business or have started your own business and you're looking to grow and scale, you can find us on our website, which is www.okiru.co.za, which is OKIRU.co.za. We do have our own, live chatbot on there, which you can speak to and get a bit more information about us. And it can help you actually book a meeting or a consultation. We're also available on email, which is contact@okiru.co.za. That's contact@okiru.co.za. And we're available on WhatsApp as well, on 078 104 6527. That's 078 104 6527. So the multi-channel way to reach out to us. And yes, you may get through to the bot if you go the bot route, but there's always a person available to you to also understand your needs and set up a meeting with a dedicated consultant.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on Tech Africa.
No, thank you very much for having me on.
Right. So that's how we conclude our conversation around innovation in our beautiful, diverse continent of Africa. And that was Chengetai Myezwa, founder of Okiru. Hopefully you picked up a thing or two that you can make use of in your business. And this actually makes your life easier. And then maybe you can tell us how you find this innovation and maybe give a review. It's unsolicited. I don't think that's what they wanted. But I'm always curious to find out of all these innovations that we have, we talk about on the show. Do you use it? What did you think? It'll be nice to engage in that way. Let's take a short break. My goodness, we've got another conversation that we need to unpack, but this time is around the game of Roblox. If you remember last week, we tried to delve deeper into this, but we are definitely bringing this conversation.
Start your day right with Channel Africa Breakfast.
That smells delicious.
Live. 5